Prince William plans on stripping both Harry and Meghan of their HRH titles once he becomes king.
It looks like the royal gloves are off, and this time, it's personal. Behind palace doors and California sunshine, Meghan Markle is said to be fuming. And guess who's in the line of fire? None other than her husband, Prince Harry. Word on the royal street is that Prince William, future king and current Duke of No More Mr. Nice Guy, is gearing up to strip Meghan and Harry of their HRH titles once and for all. Sources spilled to the Daily Beast that William isn't playing around. He allegedly believes Meghan has broken a deal she made with the late Queen Elizabeth by continuing to flash that royal title for her personal brand.
And as part of that agreement, they said they would keep their HRH, and they're technically styles, just that's the nomenclature. They would keep Her Royal Highness, His Royal Highness, but they would not use them.
What's got William so riled up? It's Meghan's lifestyle venture. Yes, the one with homemade jam has been subtly parading the HRH title like it's part of the product label. And let's be honest, nothing screams royal luxury, quite like HRH-approved raspberry preserves. Behind the scenes, insiders say Meghan snapped when she heard about the looming title snatch, and poor Harry reportedly got the full royal wrath. Apparently, she lost it on him, furious that he hadn't stopped this behind-the-scenes power move before it gained steam. She's said to feel betrayed, not just by the royal family, but by Harry himself for not protecting what little piece of the crown they had left. According to insiders, William believes Harry and Meghan have thrown away everything the monarchy stands for. So the fact that they're still leaning on royal status as a branding tool is pushing him over the edge. And he's not the only one who's frustrated.
Is her name. She's right to say she's not a Markle anymore. When you marry, most people take their husband's name, and that's what she's done. But she doesn't need to be using the HRH title. She doesn't really need to be using the Duchess of Sussex.
HRH might not come with secret privileges or royal powers, but make no mistake, it carries major symbolic weight. It's a title that signals prestige, seniority, and proximity to the crown, usually reserved for the monarch's children and grandchildren who actively serve the royal institution. When Meghan married Harry in 2018, Queen Elizabeth extended the HRH title to her, just as she once had for Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson. But in both those cases, the titles were swiftly removed following their divorces from Prince Charles and Prince Andrew. Fast forward to 2020, Harry and Meghan officially stepped back from their royal duties, crossed the Atlantic, and set up a new life in sunny California. They kept their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles, but agreed not to use their HRH styles publicly. At least, that was the deal. The drama kicked off with a seemingly innocent social media post. Meghan shared a screen grab of a message from a senior Ukrainian official that addressed her as Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. At first glance, it looked like flattery, just a pat on the back from one dignitary to another. But royal watchers instantly picked up on the not-so-subtle implications. Sure, Meghan didn't write the title herself, but posting it, that was a message, and William got it loud and clear. Of course, the real royal cherry on top came when Meghan sent a gift basket from her new As Ever lifestyle brand to podcaster and businesswoman Jamie Kern-Lima. The handwritten card attached to the basket didn't mince words. It read, "With the compliments of HRH, the Duchess of Sussex."
Drop something off.
All of a sudden, you dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream, just to see if that helps lighten my load. It was like as if you're in my shoes, feeling what I was feeling, without me even needing to tell you anything.
Yes, she wrote it and signed it. The HRH title was front and center, and it aired on Lima's podcast for the world to see. That's not all. In what some are calling a not-so-subtle cry to be seen as royal again, Meghan has sparked buzz after awkwardly correcting Mindy Kaling on camera in her new Netflix series. The moment came when Mindy casually referred to her as Meghan Markle, a name the world's been using for years. But Meghan wasn't having it. She quickly cut in with a prime reminder, I'm Sussex now.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle, I'm Sussex now. You have kids, and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
While fans of the show may have brushed it off as a lighthearted quip, royal insiders are calling it what it really looked like. A very public plea to hold on to whatever scraps of royal status she can. What's even more shocking, King Charles did nothing about it. Reports from People magazine claim the king is so determined to avoid further fallout with Harry and Meghan that he's stopped responding to Harry's calls and letters altogether. The once hoped-for reconciliation between father and son has been reduced to radio silence. Charles, it seems, is hoping the whole thing blows over. But if that's the plan, it's backfiring fast. Friends close to Prince William say Charles's inaction has only deepened his son's frustration. William, they say, sees this as a test of leadership, and right now, his father is failing it. Meghan's bold use of HRH, in William's eyes, doesn't just cross a line. It exposes what he sees as Charles's weakness. She knows he won't do anything, one source said, and so far she's right. But don't expect William to follow suit. Sources insist that when he becomes king, Meghan and Harry's HRH titles will be stripped without hesitation.
This has reportedly enraged heir to the throne, Prince William, who wants to officially strip their behinds of the title once and all.
William, they say, won't tolerate what he sees as a betrayal of the monarchy and the memory of his grandmother's legacy. It looks like the honeymoon is definitely over. Well, at least with the British public. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are once again under fire. And this time, the backlash has reached a fever pitch. A wave of outrage has swept across the UK, fueled by growing frustration over the Sussexes' lingering royal privileges.
With a new poll revealing a majority of Brits want to see Harry stripped of his HRH title.
Especially their titles and the question of taxpayer-funded security. The Blast reported that anger is mounting, with citizens increasingly questioning why two royals who chose to leave the firm are still being treated like they never did. Why on earth do we, the British public, need to foot the bill for this? He chose to leave. Simple. Want security? Should have stayed. One infuriated local snapped. Another echoed what many seem to be feeling. Enough is enough.
If you step down, if you leave, you will not... Can you imagine quitting any job and assuming you are going to still get the perks of that job?
And it's not just grumbling. There's hard data to back it up. A recent public poll of 4,500 people revealed a jaw-dropping 97% believe King Charles should officially strip Prince Harry of his royal title. That's not just a slight dip in popularity. That's a full-blown nosedive. Previous polls had already shown Harry and Meghan's favorability falling off a cliff, but this latest figure shows just how deep the public sentiment has sunk. So how did the Sussexes respond? Well, it looks like they simply didn't want to address the backlash they're getting. In what many are calling a defiant switch from the storm of criticism, Prince Harry didn't offer an apology or clarification. Instead, he lit another match. Prince Harry's bombshell BBC interview dropped a whole lot of emotional grenades, claiming King Charles won't speak to him.
He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile.
And as soon as the interview went viral online, Meghan Markle posted a moody black and white snap of Harry. The setting was a lush, almost dreamlike garden. The Duke of Sussex stands holding Archie's hand, with little Lilibet perched on his shoulders. The message was subtle but loud. We're doing just fine without the crown. But critics weren't buying it. The calm family moment clashed harshly with Harry's verbal attacks on his own family, leaving many asking, is this a carefully curated distraction? You see, Harry didn't just talk about his estranged relationship with his father in this interview. The Duke also reportedly demanded that UK Home Secretary Yvette Cooper urgently investigate the committee that downgraded his taxpayer-funded police security.
The Prime Minister to step in. I would ask Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, to look at this very, very carefully, and I would ask her to review RABEC and its members.
He accused the royal household of interfering with his efforts to have that security reinstated.
What I know throughout this legal process is the interference that was created came from the royal household.
Of course, this was an allegation that was swiftly and flatly denied by both Buckingham Palace and the government. Whitehall insiders weren't having it. The committee in question is meant to be independent, shielded from both political pressure and palace meddling. But Harry's dramatic claims have only widened the rift between himself and his family. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, he made what many are calling an unforgivable misstep, referring to his father, King Charles's battle with cancer, by saying he doesn't know how much longer he has. Palace sources were said to be stunned. The remark was called particularly poor taste, even by the ever-tight-lipped royal insiders. But while that chilling comment about the king's health left the monarchy reeling, insiders say the true breaking point wasn't a headline-grabbing interview. The moment that truly slammed the palace door shut on Harry and Meghan's return came down to one single word. And no, it wasn't shouted in a fight. It was typed in a carefully worded press release. Let's rewind. Back in March 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped stepped away from royal duties, citing a need for privacy, freedom, and a new chapter outside the confines of the firm. But while their departure stunned the world, what followed behind palace walls was even more explosive. The infamous Sandringham Summit, where Queen Elizabeth II, then Prince Charles, Prince William, and Harry thrashed out the terms of the couple's exit, was tense, to say the least. Still, the late Queen handled it with grace. In a rare and personal statement, she expressed regret but also respect, saying she wished they'd stayed as working royals, but accepted their choice. And then Harry and Meghan dropped their statement. "We will continue to collaborate with Her Majesty the Queen, the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Cambridge, and all relevant parties." It read, "Collaborate?" That one word apparently sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace corridors. According to veteran royal editor Rebecca English, palace staff were raging. No one collaborates with the Queen. This is not one of those Kate Moss Topshop tie-ups.
And at the time, someone very senior said to me, nobody collaborates with the Queen. How rude and how insulting.
And just like that, the royal bridge was torched. It was a rookie misstep, and it gave off the whiff that Harry and Meghan saw the monarchy as something to brand with, rather than serve. And in royal circles, that's an unforgivable sin. Even years later, that quote hasn't been forgotten. In fact, the sting was so strong that English says it came flooding back again in 2025 when a clip emerged of Meghan. A video of the Duchess of Sussex playfully dancing while about to give birth to Lilibet surfaced recently, and royal watchers couldn't believe their eyes. Now, this may have been lighthearted, but to palace aides who once moved mountains to preserve regal dignity, it was the final floral-scented nail in the coffin.
You know, what the royal family do and say is a matter for our official record books. So, you know, they do need to think about things more when they're putting out these statements and what they're saying. And it
wasn't just a private moment shared with the world, but was proof, they say, of just how far Meghan and Harry have drifted from the crown. According to the Daily Mail's Rebecca English, the Queen had always warned that letting the Sussexes forge their own rules would end badly. And now, even King Charles, who once held out hope for a reconciliation, has firmly parked the Harry issue, according to insiders. But just when the royal family thought they'd seen it all, a passport drama rolled in out of nowhere. Just when the world thought the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had slammed the palace gates shut for good, whispers from inside the House of Windsor suggest otherwise. According to Daily Mail royal reporter Richard Eden, the couple have reportedly used the HRH titles for Archie and Lilibet in passport applications. This new development is setting off alarm bells inside the palace. Some insiders are calling it a strategic power move, a not-so-subtle attempt to leave the door open for a future royal rebrand, just in case Hollywood doesn't go as planned. And let's be honest, the Sussexes haven't exactly had a flawless run in the entertainment world. With Spotify deals gone and Netflix growing quiet, are Meghan and Harry circling back to the institution they once scorched? Eden suggests this could be their biggest hint yet at wanting back in, and they may be using their children, Archie and Lilibet, as the golden keys to unlock that royal return. But not everyone's buying it. A royal insider scoffed at the idea, telling Eden, Harry and Meghan apparently found official duties and life within the royal family unbearable. Yet they want this for their children? It's clearly not making sense to anyone. It doesn't make sense. How could this couple, who wanted out now, quietly cling to titles, legacy, and prestige while still painting themselves as victims of the royal machine? Let's rewind to 2021, the year that blew the royal lid clean off. That was when Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, sat down with Oprah Winfrey and dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace and beyond. Calm and composed, Meghan revealed that during her pregnancy with Archie, certain members of the royal family raised concerns about how dark his skin might be.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
She also added that the remarks were relayed to her by Harry himself, but when pressed for names, she declined to identify the royals involved, saying that would be very damaging to them. The same period reportedly saw the couple being told that Archie would not receive a title or security protection. This was a double blow that left many viewers stunned, and palace officials scrambling to contain a PR wildfire. The racism allegations lit up headlines across the globe, casting a shadow over the monarchy's carefully curated image. Fast forward to 2025, and it seems Meghan's royal rift has only deepened, with some believing she's fanning the flames all over again. Why? Simply because Meghan has reportedly resumed using the controversial HRH title.